No one expected us to be holding these European elections, but the government's complete failure on Brexit means they're going ahead against a backdrop of division and of frustration. A vote for Labour is a vote to bring our divided country back together. Labour is the only party with a plan to unite our country and make it work for the many, not the few. We will end austerity, invest in our economy and our communities, and raise wages and living standards. Labour's alternative plan for Brexit, which protects jobs, living standards and communities, would end the chaos caused by the Conservatives and let us focus on the other big issues facing our country. It is a real and credible plan that would allow the next Labour government to rebuild our manufacturing industries and restore pride and prosperity to parts of our country that have been neglected for far too long. That neglect was, I believe, a major reason behind the vote for Brexit in the first place. 3 years of botched negotiations between the government and the European Union have left everyone frustrated. Over 17 million people voted to leave the European Union. As democratic socialists, we cannot ignore that. We voted to trigger Article 50 in 2017 and promised to respect the referendum in our general election manifesto and again at our party conference in Liverpool last year. But we cannot respect the government's shambolic handling of Brexit that has caused huge uncertainty for people, businesses and jobs. What the Prime Minister finally cooked up led to the biggest government defeat in Britain's parliamentary history. It wasn't until that damaging deal had been defeated 3 times that the government had already missed its own deadline for leaving, that the Prime Minister finally admitted she needed to compromise. Labour agreed to talks because we believed it was the right thing to do, to see if we could get a better deal in line with our plan. The needs of businesses and trade unions, a deal that would see us leave the EU but keep a close relationship with our major trading partners. So far, in those talks, there's been no big offer, and the red lines remain in place. It's actually quite difficult negotiating with a disintegrating government, with cabinet ministers jockeying for succession rather than working for an agreement. It is in the country's interest to try to get this sorted one way or the other. But we can never accept the government's bad deal or a disastrous no deal. So, if we can't get a sensible deal along the lines of our alternative plan or a general election, Labour backs the option of a public vote on it.